Hi, guys, welcome to Real Issues Live with Crystal. This is where we have authentic conversations about issues that affect us as society. Join me as I have different guests coming in to share their take on various topics. You don't know nobody, no. Tell me why they wanna do you that. Rest in peace, my I mean, I really like a smile, boy. When me see your pitney there, me see your face. Can't pretend like me don't want to defend your pain. But only God knows how you tell her 2 years say mommy dead. And you're not see daddy again. Can't pretend like me don't want to defend your pain. But only God knows what I got are you alone. So you baby want to eat, sleep comfortable on the street. For me family in a bed every day we have to weep. Hurt me the most, if I know them my toast. When them see my people, them go 6 feet deep. But what goes around, come right back. And when your kids them shed that tear, me wipe that. I show me, I know them mama, me no fight back. Oh, gotta love. When me see your picnic, then me see your face. Can't pretend like me no want to defend your pain. But only God knows. Say mommy there, and you now see daddy again. Hi guys. Hi guys, welcome. Tonight we're talking about a very heavy topic, but it's a topic that we must talk about, especially in these times. You know, many people have been losing loved ones. So if you know someone that has lost someone, please send them this live right now. We will be getting coping strategies as to how to deal with it. All right, so go ahead and share up the live to your friends. And as soon as I see one of my guests. Hi Karissa. As soon as my first guest is here, we will begin. All right, so 2 minutes, but share up the live. Send your friends the live. Let them know that we are talking about a topic that will definitely help someone that is hurting right now. Can't pretend like me don't want to defend your pain. But only God knows. Say mommy dead, and you now see daddy again. Hey guys. You alone. Hi everybody. Okay, I see my first guest here. I'm gonna let her join in a few minutes. I want to tell you, I love Chanel Muir, and I always listen to her songs. Hi, Andre. And you know, for some reason, whenever the one about pain is playing, I always skip it because I say, you know, I don't want no sad energy right now. I don't want I don't want to have to live that. And so I always hear a Yama Bella song or Top Girl and whatever. But this song that she has with the pain, it was just too sad. And I tried to protect my energy because I'm very emotional. And so, you know, unfortunately this year, it so happened that, all right, let me start from the top. So, you know, finding topics on Real Issues Live. So Real Issues Live is all about trying to help the mental health, help with mental health, because you know, you can have a lot of reasons for that, things that can affect your mental health. However, losing someone, the death of someone, is definitely at the top of the list. And so my 2 best friends last year, one of them lost their dad. I think she only got about
3 days in the hospital with him before he passed, and he wasn't sick or anything. Just, it's just so funny. The other one, she lost her mom. Same thing. She wasn't really sick or anything. She had a little pressure, but nothing, big. And so, I started thinking in myself, I think I'm going to lose someone next. I started to think that. And that is why them say, boy, you must always think positive. But, when my two best friends lost their, one each, one lost mom, one lost dad, I'm like, me next, and anyways, I wanted someone to talk on dealing with a loved one because they were hurting. And Karissa, I remember Karissa, one of the speaker tonight, she lost someone, and to me, boy, that was like her partner, but to me, she was the perfect person to talk on this topic, to help someone that's going through it, because that person, to her, it wasn't only her husband, but as I said, lifetime partner. So I tried to source her to come and talk so people who are hurting, they would listen. So normally my sister, the one who passed away, she's the one that I run over my topics with, that I'm gonna talk on. And so I was telling her that I want to talk on dealing with death, and she said yes, it's a good thing and whatever. And maybe about a month after that, I got a call. I was teaching. I was doing my online class with the grade 6, preparing them for PEP. And I got a call that she's unresponsive. So they rushed her to the hospital. Before that, I know that something wasn't right with her. Like, she would have anxiety attacks. She'd been having a lot of, which I have, unfortunately. Everything gets her frightened, and, everything she would jump for and stuff. And, I was just really worried about her. So I felt something was wrong. And I actually, before she even passed, I was hurting. Anyways, as I said, she wasn't sick or anything. Healthy woman, 39-year-old. Anyways, from I got that call about her not being responsive, I started to pray. And I said, God, may I beg you, even if I coma, even if we have to go, what the place name? What them go online and look for the money, what they call it? That's something there. For people donate, so, You guys are hearing me? Are you guys hearing me? Let me know what you call or something there when you donate to it and you put up GoFundMe. Yes. I'm a pray. I'm a say, God, please, yes. Even if it's that, Anyways, I just had that feeling, and by the time we went to the hospital, we heard that she passed. And this person is not only my sister. So for those who know my story, they know that she is actually one of the person who are probably the main person who, made me who I am today. I was brought up with her. Because our mom went overseas from I was 3 months old. Anyways, I thought that was it. Like, first of all, I was going through a separation the year before. I'm going through the co-parenting thing. I'm going through the business. The pandemic hit my business and everything. And then I'm saying, and then this just happened. So the good thing, I don't know if it's good or bad. The good thing is that because I was already hurting, it's like God was strengthening me for what? For the biggest hurt to come. I don't know if I'm seeing it, any therapist on here or whatever, or the guests who will be talking. We will have Melanie and Karissa talking. They will tell me, but it's like I think that I was strong enough to handle. So everybody in the family was like, check on Crystal, check on Crystal, first thing, check on Crystal, because they know how close we were. Like even before, even the day before she passed. Normally when I'm driving, I don't talk on the phone, and she called me, and for some reason, cause she's always the one calling. I'm more of a loner, right? Me, I don't keep contact that well. I'm pray for me, but I'm more of a loner. But she's always a person to call and stuff like that. But I knew she's been going through depression. She was going through a lot, like most of us, But I guess not everybody is able to handle certain things. So I remember the day she said to me, we were talking about, some struggles, and she said, I wonder which church you had me shit in. She was just saying that, and we say things gonna be alright, man. Things soon be alright and stuff like that. Anyways, so when she collapsed, honestly, I was thinking the worst, honestly. I didn't know what. And I didn't even want them to do an autopsy, to be honest with you, because you understand? I was wondering really what happened when them said them do the autopsy, whatever. I was just, my sister is gone. I don't want to know say nothing. I'm sure you can read between the lines. Anyways, the family wanted the autopsy because she's young. She's 39. And it was a heart attack. And the heart attack was brought on by high blood pressure. And it's the stress that really caused the high blood pressure. So I know I'm going all over the place. This is taking a lot out of me right now, honestly. To even come here and talk, because I try to distract myself a lot. That was it. And so some of the things that she went through before this heart attack, I'm going through it, and so that is why I try. My peace of mind, I try to protect it. I try not to get too irritated and anxiety and But, everybody in the family wanted check on Crystal, but I wanted to be alone. Even one of my friend, we used to go to high school together. She's like, you're not staying by yourself tonight. I just wanted to be alone because Christian was at her dad. I don't really have much family down here. My sister passed away, so I am now the strength for my sister's kids. My sister's kids, she had three kids, 2 boys, but they're 20, and a teenager girl, she's 13, but she has her father. And so I'm like, I have to be strong. And I don't even know if I actually deal with it yet. I tell myself that she's no longer here, like I can see her, but she's here with me, even though I'm not seeing her. Like I try to distract myself. Every time I have a memory of her, I move it, I shift it and go think about something else. So I'm not even sure if I'm coping. So I'm gonna ask Melanie to come on. She's gonna give us some coping strategy. She lost her mom. She's gonna tell you what she wants to tell you. And let's see if I can get some strategies as well as those who are hurting right now. So Melanie, send me a request, please. All right.
Hi, Crystal. All right.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Real Issues Live.
Movies, comments. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you for agreeing to even come and share with this touchy topic. Wow.
I know.
But
It's hard. It's
Mel,
hard, but I feel like it's so important to talk about. And that is why Crystal gave me like 3 topics. And she was like, I know you don't want to talk about this one. And I'm like, yeah, but I know I have to talk about it because I feel like so many people like shy away from stuff like this. And it's so important.
Definitely, definitely. You know, especially in these times, like every time I go on my phone, I see RIP,
Yes.
RIP. So, you
Yes.
know, definitely it's needed.
Yup.
And thank you so much for coming to share.
No
All
problem.
right. Before I get into the questions, can you just share a little bit about who you lost?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know or you're seeing me for the first time, I lost my mom in 2018, November of 2018. Still feels like yesterday, feels like no time has passed.
Wow.
And for those of you who know me very well, just like Crystal said with her sister, my mother is like my best friend. She's
Wow.
that unspoken best friend. We celebrate everything together. We celebrate birthdays. You
Mm.
always say that I go all out for my birthday. There's
Yes.
always a segment of my birthday that I spend with my mother. Her
Right.
birthday was last week. Mine was Sunday, and hers was a week before mine. So we always
Wow.
celebrate hers together and then mine together. Christmas is everything. She's my
Mm.
unspoken best friend. She's all over my social media. Everybody who knows me knows my
No,
mom, right?
definitely. Hmm.
So not because you say, oh yeah, it's your mother, it's no. And
Right.
she's a very young, vibrant person as well. She never all and ready for
Yeah.
dead. Oh,
Right.
sorry, I need to keep it English because I have non-patois speakers that joined the live.
No problem. Go
So yeah,
ahead.
she was young, fit,
Hmm.
healthy, going to the gym.
Hmm.
Just literally, she's the 50-year-old version of me.
Wow.
Life
Wow.
of the party, goes to the gym, takes care of herself, likes to look good, is
Hmm.
a great friend.
Hmm.
So she was an all around amazing person. So yeah.
Well, you kind of answered my first question. I wanted to ask you, how, does time heal? You kind of answered it a little bit.
When I said it feels like time, no. I feel
No.
like so this is it. I feel like people who have not yet experienced
Hmm.
losing somebody that's really close to them, that's
Hmm.
like the way that they try to offer support. Yeah, it's gonna get better with time. No. And I feel
Right.
like those who have will tell you, like you get a completely different like different words of motivation from somebody who has experienced what you're now going through. And I've
Right.
realized that going forward. Because
Hmm.
now when I have friends who lose somebody close, a brother, sister, parent, child,
Hmm.
spouse,
Hmm.
how I would go about and talk to them is completely different.
Right.
Time does nothing for you. The pain stays the same. It does
Hmm.
not move, Crystal. It's just that you find ways to move around it. So it's like this big statue in the middle of your life, and you're just bouncing around it and trying to go around it because it's never going to leave you. It's never going to go.
Right, right. Okay. So I guess in the end you'll give us some tips as to what to do, because we can't tell them that, listen,
Right.
you're always gonna be feeling the
Your
pain.
life is going to
You have to.
pause and that is it. No, no, no.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how comfortable you would be. You know, I lost my sister to, you know, heart attack. I'm not sure how comfortable you would be to, for those who don't know, to share how you lost your mom.
Yeah, I mean, I lost my mom in a very unfortunate way. It
Mm.
There was no time to process like a lot of other people,
Yeah.
um, and she was taken from our lives. It's
Mm.
not like it was a natural cause or it was an accident or
Right.
anything like that. It was a deliberate take her from somebody, and that makes it that much harder for our family to process because
Oh. Mm-hmm.
somebody come in and rip somebody
Yes.
from you. So that is
Yeah.
even, I think, harder. No, I don't measure up to
Mm-hmm.
how you lose the person.
Mm-hmm.
There is just a loss. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when people say, oh yeah, it's an accident, oh yeah, it's COVID, because so many
Mm.
people are dying from COVID now or whatever,
Right. Right.
it doesn't matter how. It's
Right.
you have lost the person and you're gonna feel that absence going forward. So yeah.
Because, you know, with, because even with my sister's situation, like, you know, I believe, family members were saying, is it somebody, what, So is it that did the person who took her away, is it that you felt a form of need to have revenge? How you go past that? Or it was
No,
more so about, focusing on her loss rather than to
no.
listen?
As I said, Crystal, a loss is a loss. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter how. You understand? Think of it like you have a very expensive car. Whether you crash
Right.
it or somebody come and steal it or
Mm-hmm.
it disappear, you lost it and it's hard to replace the value. So I don't think about that part of it. I mean, yes, sometimes you're just like, seriously, people really want to hurt people like that, but
Right. Right.
I try not to focus on that part. At the end of
Okay.
the day, she's gone, and you just have to try to work past that.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So, how you kind of touch it a little bit in the introduction as well. How can someone be of support to a person who recently lost someone? All right.
Oh,
Before you touch it, I remember, as I said, someone like me, everybody in the family was like, check on Krista, check on Krista. I wanted to be alone because I'm
hmm,
naturally a loner.
hmm,
I wasn't seeing anybody. I didn't have a spouse. I didn't have anybody. So
hmm.
I think it was probably harder for me because I was by myself, but I never mind being by myself. People would say, "Oh, call me if you need me" and stuff like that. Even in the financial aspect, call me if you need me or whatever. Like, come on, of course we need
No,
you. I'm not gonna call
but
you.
you're not calling.
Me not, of course me need you, but me not gonna call you. If you cannot call me and say, yo, you need a strength
Right,
here, so or I'm gonna come right now, I'm picking you up right. If you cannot do it deliberately, me not me call
right,
who? But
exactly,
tell me how important or how can someone support someone who has
exactly.
lost someone?
Um, Crystal, honestly, you started to share your experience, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
mine was the same, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have, like, my group of friends have completely changed since I've lost my mom. Yes, some stayed consistent, but a lot of people, they
Mm-hmm.
got dropped like flies.
Whoa.
Because it's like after
Mm-hmm.
losing my mom, like
Mm-hmm.
you kind of find that value in people, and you're
Yeah.
like, a lot of people are dead weight. They serve
Yeah.
no purpose,
True. Mm-hmm.
and social media let people feel like, oh, we're so close, but really you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember, right, like, right when everything happened, and before I talk about what happened, I feel like it's very important for you to kind of identify where you are in your life at the time that you experience loss.
Yeah.
Because, Crystal, let me tell you, right before, like a couple months before, I got this weird calling from, like, God was like pulling me. I go to
Whoa.
church once in a while. I go
Mm-hmm.
to church once in a while. I watch a couple YouTube
Mm-hmm.
services, but I
Mm-hmm.
was literally like watching services every day. I was in my Bible. I was
Mm-hmm.
like God was literally pulling me, like drawing me closer,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I had just met my boyfriend as well, so he was also introducing a support system that he knew I would need
Wow.
later on. You understand? So
Yes.
I feel like God was kind of just aligning things, like he was
Yeah.
setting it up for me to cushion the blow,
Did
right?
he feel? Did you ever feel as if because you just met him, you are overbearing, or he never made you feel that way?
Never,
Good.
never, never once. And that is what I'm saying. You will know
Mm-hmm.
who is there to stay and who should go,
Right. Right.
right? Because
Mm-hmm.
people will make themselves like pronounced in your life at that time.
Right.
And during that time, even though my family has gotten smaller and closer and tighter knit because of it, because the people who truly showed up,
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that you never expected. I had a friendship, everybody was sending me messages from all over the world. Oh, Melanie, I'm
Mm-hmm.
here, I'm there for you, I'm this, I'm that, da 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 da
Right.
da. But they were
Mm-hmm.
all words. Like, I just look at the messages and close it. Look at the message and
Yes.
close it.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I remember one of my friends, Juanita,
Mm-hmm.
and people feel like I just go party with this girl and that's it. But
Mm-hmm.
she called me and she was like, Melanie, whatever you want right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, where are you? That's the first thing she said. And I was like, I'm at home in Falmouth, da da da. And she said, you want me to drive to Falmouth? That's what she said. You want me to drive to Falmouth? And I'm like, no, I'm coming home, because at the time I wasn't living with my mom. I'm going to come home tomorrow. And as soon as I got home, she was at my house. She was like, I'll bring anything you want. I was like, I need a drink. She brought a couple bottles of wine, champagne. She just sat. She was just there. She said, what do you want to talk, or you want to be quiet? I'll be here, just like right
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
When I called my boyfriend was at work. He was like, he booked a ticket right away and he was on the flight. He was there the next day. So
Yeah, you know,
I'm
big up
right.
you.
I'm talking about people who do the actions
Yes.
and not just, oh hey, I'm here or whatever. No.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I have other friends that I know would have been there, but distance.
Yes.
You know, they're in another country and they can't show up. They actually can't show up.
Right.
And that speaks volumes.
So did you want to be by yourself, or you wanted them to be around you?
Crystal, naturally, I am a loner. Naturally, I don't like to, a loner in the sense that I don't like to be vulnerable, and I don't like people to see my feelings. I don't cry in front of people.
Same way.
Nobody knows how I feel when I feel it.
Right.
But I feel like, as I said, there's this energy of attraction that it pulls the right people in at that point. Like your energy just picks up on certain people, and I knew who I needed to be around me. And when they came around, I realized that I needed it.
Definitely. And that thing about, you know, not wanting to show, you know, be vulnerable, you know, I think, you know, we strong women, so people would never know. Like, as I said, you know, people were even my mom, she didn't really cry much, and people were saying, oh, she's not crying, whatever. And well, she's like, but I mean, people, you cannot judge somebody for not crying.
I didn't cry much either.
You don't know what they feel inside.
I didn't cry much either. And to this day, people came to the funeral and they're like, how are you not crying? You're strong. Yeah, this is not strong. It's not
process
strong.
Things different. And you know, men, sometimes I wish I was crying.
Me too.
Because that heaviness in your heart, you know, nice.
It's almost like, it's like this heavy cloud that wants to break and it's not breaking. And Crystal, let me tell you something. Like it comes out at different times. Like it's almost been 3 years since I've lost her. And Mother's Day, I went to Jamaica, spending with my family at the resort. 2 days straight, I enjoy myself. And when I went up that escalator in Sangster's International Airport, and I reached the top, and I was sitting down, I just burst out in tears. Like, I don't know where it came. I burst out, like, in front of everybody. I looked like I was just bawling, tears rolling down my face. I didn't know what to do, because you just couldn't hold it anymore. I feel like that's how it comes out from me. It's you just burst. You just burst. And you just
Well, I think it's similar to how I feel as well, you know. I have one final question for you. It's just the coping strategy. You know, give us some coping tips as to how to make it easier.
All right. So I feel like I equate losing somebody close to you like fight or flight. You don't know what your response is going to be in the moment. Right? You won't know until it happens and you're there in the moment. And I feel like the best thing that we can do is literally take it one day at a time. I said this to somebody. I said, you literally have to pick up your days. Don't look to next week. Don't look to a year. Because if I sit down and I think, oh, when I get married, my mom is not going to be there. When I have kids, my mom is not going to be there. Oh, when I graduate, it's going to ruin me.
That's too heavy for you. Yeah.
Right? And I have, and one of the reasons too, and I should put this in another point, is that you have to remember, what are your purposes in life, what it is that you need to get done, and what that person would want for you. So
Ah.
everything that I'm living in right now is what my
Mm-hmm.
mother would have wanted for me.
Mm-hmm.
And every day that I get up and I feel like I want to not do anything, I'm like, no, one, my mother wouldn't have wanted that for me,
True.
right?
True.
And I live like you said, I live like she's here. For
Yeah.
me, she hasn't left. It's
Mm-hmm.
just her physical that's not here anymore. I still
Right.
do things as though I'm going to go to her and say, hey, mommy, I did this. Or look at me doing this, right?
Right.
So I
Right.
feel like when you remember that about yourself and you stand firm in that,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's going to get you through. I feel like that is my driving factor right now. It's just,
Okay.
yeah, living like she's there and picking up the days one at a time. And three, being super, super gracious with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am so hard on myself, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes when things happen, I'm just like, listen, you have to, just like when you treat a baby or you treat a child and you're gentle with them when they get hurt.
Yes. Yes.
Imagine how you are with your daughter when she experienced something really
Yes.
bad, how you love
Mm-hmm.
her up and hug her up. Do
Mm-hmm.
that to yourself. You
Yeah.
have
Oh
to,
Lord.
yeah, you
Mm.
have to literally be like, listen, it's okay for you to be that way today.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you have people around you,
Ah.
it's it's good to like I don't communicate a lot sometimes, but I feel like it's good to sometimes just be like, I'm not having a good day today, and don't beat up on yourself when you don't have a good day.
That is very important because sometimes we're hard on ourselves. We want to accomplish a certain thing
Mm-hmm,
by a certain time, and you
mm-hmm,
know. So I just say, you know what? I have been doing well. If I
mm-hmm,
want to take a break, it is okay.
mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
let me share, like, I'm happy I dealt with it the way that I did, because I feel like I
Mhm.
have too much going on to have shut down. But
Yes.
I
Yes.
do know people that have lost somebody close that completely shut down for 2 3 years. When I say shut down, I mean depressed, on meds, not working,
Mm-hmm.
lost their job, in debt, sitting in their grief for 2 3 years. And even then, that is okay. Like, I don't look at anybody that has lost anybody and say, oh yeah, you should have do this. No, there is
Mm-hmm.
no timeline on it. And however it is that you can cope and you can deal with it, that's the way for you to deal with it. And I see
Definitely true.
somebody mention in the comment that they seek help. Like, every day I say I'm going to call, every day I'm like, I need to go sit down and talk to a therapist.
Yes.
But I feel like you have to know yourself, and I feel like I have a high enough emotional IQ to know when I need somebody to step in and when I need that support. And I feel like for now I'm okay.
Yeah. And even the other day when I posted that, every time I look in the mirror, because people used to say, "Oh, you and your sister look alike," but I never
Mm-hmm.
used to see us looking alike until I started to put on a little weight like her, because she had
Mm-hmm.
have on weight, and I'm like, "Oh my God, we really look like her for true." So it's like, she every time I look in the mirror, we remember because we look on her.
That's my little sister. My little sister is my mother's twin.
Yeah.
And I feel like,
Oh
yeah,
my
I
God.
protect her so much because,
Yeah.
she's my mother's baby and she looked exactly like my mom. So it's like every time I look at her, it's like, you
Yeah.
get that little, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then somebody said to me, sent me a message to say he knows a very good grief counselor
Counselor.
if I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to see that person or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And my first instinct was to say to him, listen, I am okay. I know how to deal with it. And,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be all of that. But, I just said, okay, I'll let you know. I never, because some people, they're just trying to help,
Crystal, I feel
I said,
like,
let you know.
honestly, I feel like I don't want to talk to anybody who hasn't gone through it. Because they're going to be trained to tell us, but if you have not experienced it, I feel like there's nothing you can tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because now when I have friends that lose somebody, Crystal, all I can do is cry. Literally. Like, I don't know what to tell them, because I feel like I feel it more than they do because they don't know what they're going to go through yet. You
Yes.
understand? They're still
Yes.
in this little shocked phase where it's like, oh, I lose this person, but I know what's going to come afterwards. That real aching pain that kind of at you every day, and it's like I feel it for them before it comes, and I'm just like, you have no idea what you're about to go through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Woo. We have our next speaker coming up, but before I go though, do you have anything that you would want to say to someone that is hurting now, different from what I didn't ask you?
I know. I just know that it feels impossible right now. It feels impossible. But it does get better, but time doesn't heal it. There's a difference. It gets better because, as I said, it's going to be like this statue in the middle of your life that you have to, but you will learn how to dance around it. And as I said, you just have to be gracious with yourself and take time to make yourself whole. I don't know what healing looks like because I just like you 2 years later and it still feels like it's still happening, but I just cling to what makes me feel good and what makes me feel whole. Right now, that's my family, my boyfriend, being with my family and friends. That's what makes me feel whole, and I try to cling to that. So you have to find whatever that is for you. For some people, they don't have friends and family, but they have someone or something else that is healthy. Not drugs or alcohol or gambling,
Right.
right? But something that is healthy, a healthy outlet that can make them feel whole inside. And I feel like no more than ever, you just have to find comfort in those things.
Yes. Well, Marsha is telling you thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah.
Finally, somebody did. We have a
Ask
few.
if my perspective on life changed. That one.
Right. Do
Complete
you have this? You only live once. No, know that you know that. Listen, because mine definitely changed. Hold on, before you answer. Before you
Mine too.
answer.
Of course. My perspective completely changed. And it's not the YOLO. I was YOLOing before I lost my mom. It's not the YOLO, but mine is more, you truly understand the value of life when you lose someone, and you understand the value of other people. So I feel like for me, it has made me more selfless, and I cling on more to other people, right? So it's like I know I have distinctly people in my mind that I know that, listen, if I were to lose this person, it's going to be detrimental. I'm going to really feel it. So I spend more time with those people. I let them know how I feel about them. That is how my perspective has changed. And everybody else is fluff. Literally, everybody else is fluff in my life.
I have two things to say. I don't know if it's good or bad, but all right. As I was saying to you guys earlier, she died from a heart attack, but it stemmed from a high blood pressure, right?
From stress,
whatever. And so that has shifted me. Well, first of all, I had a mental breakdown in 2018, so that was kind of shifting it a little bit. But now I get like for me, anything that affects my peace of mind, I cut it off. I don't want to deal with it.
Me too.
No.
Why you think I don't have? Why you think I don't talk to a lot of people? It's nothing but literally, if your energy just rub me the wrong way and it's draining me too much, I'm out. I'm out, and I don't need to explain it to you. It's just I'm dealing with too much to deal with.
Yes.
That. And that's literally what it is.
Yes. We have to prioritize what we deal with. Like, I start prioritizing in my head. Say, all right, God, you go take that 1 year over here. So you go take that one day.
Yeah.
All right, we'll put that 1 year on my head, but not so much from my head, because all right, tomorrow I think about that 1 year. Because it really has opened my eyes as to her passing really has opened my eyes.
It should.
Protect your space.
It
protect
should.
the energy.
As it should.
Yeah.
You definitely, people like to use the phrase, just throw it out there, protect your space and your energy. Really and truly, if you lose somebody, you will be protecting your space and your energy, because I feel like I have a little fuse that it might blow one day. Like that is
Yes.
how I feel. So it's like I'm
Yes.
protecting that little fuse.
Yes.
And like
Yes.
anybody come in and
Yes.
get me a little bit too edgy, you're out. If I'm
God.
on social media, you post something and it get me a little block.
Go on.
I don't have time for it.
Certain people's status,
I don't have
because I
time
don't
for
want
it.
to see them status when I go on, let me delete their number.
Yes.
Me delete, no, instant.
Out. I don't have time.
Cut all if it make me money sometime. Cut it
And
off because
yup.
that about stress and you can't manage that right now. And the
Marsha
next
said,
thing,
Marsha said she's been told she's cold. Girl, that's fine.
we're gonna hear that. Yeah. Who should know will know.
Exactly. Mine isn't cold. Mine is Magola. Be better than people. But
Oh,
it is what it
please.
is.
Yeah. Who
It
should
is
be
what it
there will
is.
be there.
You're welcome, Karissa.
I'm gonna hear Karissa. Karissa. You probably know Karissa too. You know, you used to go to Herbert. Karissa. Yeah, Karissa is from Herbert. But there was this other thing you said, and I don't know if I need to see a counselor or not. But my thing is that it's like I think about how I'm going to feel if I lose my love, like my circle small now with the amount of people who me lose. I'm think about how me go feel. It's like me I say, God, is it that me I call on dead pandem? Like
no, that's fine.
I have to say, Mel, what I have to do, I have to tell myself, Crystal, you're not gonna lose her. You deserve her. You deserve her. You're not gonna lose her. God gave her to you because then me start thinking to say how me go feel her. Me start feel the pain before me even.
Crystal, that is so normal. I thought about that too. I think it's PTSD. It honestly is, because I have this. My trigger is calling somebody and not getting them.
Right.
So that's my trigger, and I've identified it. And as I tell you, I have a very high emotional IQ, so I can identify these things. A lot of people won't be able to. Right. If I call my boyfriend and after the third ring I don't get him, my first thought isn't him a cheat. My first thought is him dead. Literally.
Wrong with
my little brother, if I call and I don't get him, I freak, like my heart start pounding, I start panicking, and I have to talk myself down and say, they're okay, they're going to call you. Everything is going to be okay.
I thought it was
No, it happens. It's because I feel like for me, it's because I got a call and I had that response. And no, it's like, if I call somebody that is close to me and I don't, that is my trigger point. So when I've identified that and I'm like, yes, I need to maybe start to talk to a therapist now to work through that. But I think that is very normal. I think it's normal.
Okay. Because I remember calling my sister, my other sister by my father's side, and I was telling her that, boy, I feel like I just lose everybody what I love. Like, I have abandonment issue overall from childhood coming up, and And
but Crystal, let me tell you something too. The reality of the situation is you are going to lose everybody that you love.
Right.
Death is the only sure thing in this life. And I feel like we so willy-nilly with it, but it is the only sure thing in this life. And I feel like as Jamaicans, we taboo talking about death. Even my mother, she never used to like talk about dying, or mommy, if you were to die, where you want to, don't talk about that. Don't talk about I not die. But it's death. Life is fragile. It's going to happen. So you just have to identify that this will happen. So let me enjoy these people while I have them. Let me do all the things that I can with these people. And when it comes, you will be, you will at least be at peace to know that you have lived a full life with them. That's all that you can do. You can't do anything else.
I think that is how I cope as well. Like, I know in myself that we're all going to go. So even me, I'm not afraid of it. And if I should die now, I can tell you, not that I've reached, but I've fulfilled my purpose in a sense where I've done things. I know what God has called me to do. And, I have that little thing. But, I'm going to end on that note. You said something about, just cherish who you have now. And so with
Definitely.
my little daughter, she's the closest to me right now, apart from my sister's kids.
Right.
My mom and dad, they're abroad, but we weren't necessarily that close. But
Mhm.
whenever my daughter is with me, because we share, she goes to dad sometime, I have her.
Mhm.
She would just wonder why me I hug her up so. Like, me not stop
Because
hug
you
her.
have to,
Me not
same,
stop hug
same,
her.
same.
Yeah.
My little sister don't like hug and kiss, and I'm just like, you have to come hug me, you have to come kiss me. Same with my brother, my hug him
Yeah.
up and I kiss him
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that this can happen again. It's not a
Yeah.
once in a lifetime thing. It
Yeah.
can happen
Yeah.
again. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's definitely important to scatter the rose no
Of
while the
course.
person is alive
Girl,
rather than when they're
if
dead.
it's
They're
one
not
thing,
gonna know.
yeah, if it's one thing I'm not sad about, my mother got her roses
Good,
because as I
good.
tell you, every
Yeah.
birthday, no
Mm.
matter what it is I'm doing, I put aside the time to celebrate with her and give her what I could in the moment, and so I'm at peace with that.
Yes, yes,
So I feel like that is why you should do it now. So you don't live in that guilt, like, oh, I should have do more, oh, I should have do
yes,
this, oh,
yes.
you know.
I should not tell her say I love her. I should not tell
Right, right.
guys, now is the time.
Exactly, exactly. Now is the time to do it all.
Wow. Tiana said it is PTSD, just
Mhm,
like hearing fireworks, you know.
mhm. Yup.
Well, Mel, I just want to tell you thank you. I didn't know this was possible for you to really come on
Me
and talk about,
either. Me
especially this
either. I
topic.
thought I was going to cry.
Because I think we are similar in the sense where we don't want to be. We are the strong one. Are we
Yeah,
supposed to
I
help
don't talk
you?
up. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
talk
what?
about it. Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Me, I'm supposed to be your shoulder to cry on. I don't.
Yup.
I don't want to be crying on someone else's shoulder.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it is what it is. We all go through it, and we all need someone too,
We all need the support.
and we
Yes,
all need the
girl.
support. So thank you very much. You're going to hear from
No
Karissa now.
problem.
Stay
Yes,
on so you can hear Carissa's story.
I will. I
Yes.
will.
All right. I think just click end. Come off. I don't know to take you off. Try.
I'll go back in.
All right. Wow, guys. Woo! That was like a handful, mouthful, all full. You know, I didn't know. Yes, Carissa, your time. I didn't know. You hear them say, you're the saying that says you don't know how strong you are until you're in the position. I think, listen, I'm the definition of strength. You to Mel. All right, so we're going to go live with Carissa. Before I go live with Carissa, somebody just reminded me in my DM that C Care Foundation, I'm doing a back to school giveaway. We want to assist at least 4 students with tablets. Genio Clothing said that he will do the tablets, but we need 2 book lists to be filled. All right, guys. So please remember to give back once you can, because we know it's hard on everyone. So once you can, just hit up my DM. I can send you the book list. The person send me the prices of the book list. So obviously it's the cash we would send to them, because I know everybody don't have as much time now. And 2 desks for homeschooling, because it's online everything now. So let me know. All right, Carissa, I'm gonna go. Carissa, try to send me a request, or probably what you can do is jump off the live and then you jump on. Carissa, jump off the live for me there and then come on, because I'm not able to add you from here. In the meantime, I just want to big up. I see one of my best friends here, Felicia. She lost her mom. I don't see Tamara, who lost her dad. Felicia, I hope that Melanie, who lost her mom, her story resonated with you. Carissa, just come off and then you come on and then you will say send request. So guys, boy, when I heard that Carissa lost her husband, who is like her best friend, I was like, boy, I'm afraid to even contact her if you ask her how she feel. I'm afraid to see how she doing. And I had to go to the funeral. I was, wait, oh gee. Karissa. Go live with Karissa. Right? I was afraid to go to the, to even reach out to her. But I know I was busy at the time. I say I had to go show my support. We weren't really close or anything, but I met her because I was doing makeup at the time and I did her makeup for her wedding. So that is how I met her. And when I heard that her husband passed, I said, anything what me I do, have to go. Just give Karissa a minute, guys. And all right, let me let her tell the story. A fair story. Oosh. Guys, you're here? You're hearing me? You here? Are you guys here? Seeing me, hearing me? Let me know if you're hearing me. Felicia. Yes, Poochie. Hi. Karissa? Okay, guys. Yes, I see you're hearing me. Okay, guys. All right. So seems like Karissa having some problems. Give her a few minutes. But in the meantime, do you have any questions for me? You can go ahead and send a question. Let me know if you have any question for me. And I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out to come on and listen. For those who didn't get a chance to watch it tonight, you can always tell them to go back on the page and watch it. Yeah, come back on the page because I usually save the lives, so they can come back and watch it. I know recently, I think it's Nat. She lost her best friend. Nastasia. Yeah, she lost her best friend. A lot of people, they're just losing. I have another friend from high school. She recently lost her father. Guys, it's just death all over. So we really, really, really have to cherish the ones that we hold close now. As Melanie said, listen, tell them that you love them every day. My daughter, sometimes she is not an emotional person, so I know the oggy kissy type, and I'm sure she tired of me sometimes. I'm like, oh girl, I look on her and I say, I'm my daughter this. I say, I really my daughter. God, me really have that baby for me. And me she come from. I just cherish Lincoln. I didn't see it, Lincoln, but I heard about it. And for me, me not even want to go there because all right, you're gonna do that in front of your child, like that is going to scar the child for life. Honestly, that is going to scar the child for life. Many of us, we have been through traumas and we know nothing severe or even as close to that, but definitely will scar the child. So I have been through something like that. I have been through something like that, but the person did not die. Yeah, the person did not die. And I'm scarred, and that is why when I found out, that she passed, I was wondering if it's something like that, and I was relieved that it was natural cause. But yes, long time is scar, man. Panic attack, long time, man. Somebody said, what motivated me to start this program? All right, so I just shared something. My traumas. I've been through trauma. I've been through stuff. Yes, and I feel as if I'm dealing with it good, in a positive way. I channel, instead of letting it get to me, I try to use positive outlets. Um, and so I want to motivate others or inspire others, try to help others, because not everybody deals with stress. Not everybody is as strong as you and I, or Melanie and I. We do have people who they will turn to smoking, they turn to drinking, they turn to, you know, whatever outlet that's not good for them. And so that's what motivated me. My own story, I shared a few on my personal page, and people started to reach out to me. Sharing my story too initially was to see if I can motivate others, and also even family members that I'm trying to reach, but I'm not basically reaching them on a day-to-day basis. So maybe they will hear other perspective. So I use it to get other persons to come on, so they can hear from other persons apart from me. They can get motivated and stuff. Yeah. But I hope I answered your question. It's from my own trauma. It's just my life story overall. Like, I've been through all the traumas, or most, that a woman can go through, but I'm still standing, and I'm still being positive, and I never curse God, and yeah, I think that people need to pour into people a lot more. I get bashed for having real issues live by close family. They would say, why am I sharing so much? Why am I putting all of these things out there? But for me, some of us have one calling. Me feel so. Me feel say God have a few people who I unpick, like him love everybody or whatever, but God have a few I unpick to say, you are going to be an advocate. So that's what happened. Let me see. Karissa is saying that she's unable to join. Hold on, guys. In this room. Karissa?
Hey,
Hi. Welcome.
I was trying to use my computer and it was just not working out.
Okay. Welcome to Real Issues Live with Crystal. You're hearing me clearly?
How you doing?
Okay. I'm
Nice
good.
and clear.
I'm good. Listen, when I came up with this topic, you were one of the first person that came to my mind, because I know your loss was a great one. And so I just want you to tell them, just give them a background of who you lost, and just give them a background of exactly what happened.
And also how we met.
Well, yeah, you can touch how we met a little, yes.
So apparently, I lost my husband, 6 years ago now. We were high school crush, and kind of had like a long distance relationship after high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think 2.5 years into the marriage, he died.
Whoa. So what, 2.5 years in the marriage, were you guys having the long distance relationship, or?
Yeah, it was long distance because I was in Canada sponsoring him because he was meant to leave the military and join me, and I was counting down the time because he had to join the military. I think after they sent him to school in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
he had to stay there for extra 7 years. So I was counting down the 7 years. So the 7 years is the year that he passed away.
What?
So it's like all the paperwork, everything was done.
Do you think that
Yeah.
is it's a bit easier now that he wasn't living with you every day? You're not seeing him like, or it's actually harder. How you feel really?
Um, it's kind of hard to like. It's for me like we were so close. Like even though we were like first we were boyfriend and girlfriend, we got married. We were so close. I would just jokingly saying to him all the time, "He's my son. Like I should be related to you." We were so close. So even though I'm away,
Mm-hmm.
like I never felt like I'm away because I was always like back home 3, 4 times per year, and I'm always seeing him. We were very close, and we had so many plans together. So
Okay.
I felt like it was harder to deal with because I started having what ifs and all those stuff in the first stage of grieving.
Right, right. And you would
Yeah.
think that, a soldier, you would die. When you told that you wanted to be a soldier, like, did you have any thoughts of, no, because that is a high risk job? How was your thought process?
So he was always like goal oriented.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was as you say, it was just a way out. So he knew that he wanted to work on aircraft and to join the military. He knew he would get that foundation because while he was in the military, he went to Canada, he went to the States to do his aircraft license. So
Mm-hmm.
he was just making sure that he was like moving a step ahead and always planning the future because he's a family oriented person.
Right.
He wanted to take care of his family so much. That was his goal, his dream. He never want any one of us to work, even though we want to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was just his goal to just finish off the military and just go abroad. So
Okay.
it never happened.
Right. And he passed away not due to any gunshot or anything. He got ill. Can you tell us a little bit about his illness?
He was diagnosed with cancer of lymphoma. To be honest, I had no idea about that before the diagnosis. It was just, and I didn't get enough time to process it because when he was diagnosed, he died literally few months after. So
Mm-hmm.
like I'm trying because I like to do my own research, so I'm
Right.
always like reading up on stuff, going to herbal doctor, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was so quick. It was like right after the second chemotherapy. I remember I was there with him and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I was fasting and praying that day.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone at the hospital doing their chemotherapy was just coming out and just normal, just telling me that this is their third rounds or their rounds. But I was fasting and praying, and I'm not good with fasting because I love food.
Right.
So whenever I fast,
Mm-hmm.
I always have a headache, and I always said like it's very hard for me because I love food.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fasting that day, and the chemotherapy was meant to be 6 hours, and it was meant to be done at 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
3 p.m. he was not done.
Mm-hmm.
They sent me to go buy socks for him because he was shivering. He's very cold, and I just felt like something is not right. I felt like something is just not right inside. But I'm just still holding on to faith. Like this is the second chemotherapy, the third chemotherapy, because he was very positive as well. He told me after the third chemotherapy, everything is gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So okay, so
Mhm.
when he got ill, is it that you guys were no together? You went where he was, or they sent him to you? What was it?
No, he couldn't fly. Like
Oh.
the moment he got diagnosed, and I'm like, you have to come, you have to come. So when you're in the military and there's something that's wrong with you, they'll not release you.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah, so I kind of felt like my back was
Yes.
just against the wall. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
I
what
couldn't do
caused him to
anything.
what do you mind saying like what symptoms he had?
Crystal, everything happened so fast.
Mm.
That made it so hard for me to cope because I'm trying to just like go back in my head,
Mm-hmm.
looking at his pictures, trying to put the puzzles together. And till this day, it puzzles me. But I think when he was meant to leave the military, they said I think he fainted one day when he was playing football.
Oh.
And out of the blues, they said he needed to do like an MRI. I'm like, where is this coming from?
Right.
And then after they did the MRI, they said they saw it was inconclusive, and they keep saying that they need to do another one, a biopsy. So they did like one biopsy, they couldn't find anything,
Right.
or they didn't know what was happening. So they did another one. Then I started to become suspicious. I'm like, this is not right. Please don't let them cut you anymore. 3 cut, that's it. So after the second cut, I started like just thinking to myself, something is just not right. This is just moving too fast.
Right.
But he told me that he didn't have much say. He just had to cooperate because they wanted to find out what was wrong.
Right.
And in terms of symptoms, he started throwing up. So he couldn't keep down the food, so he was losing weight.
Right.
And then sometimes he lays to sleep. When he wake up, he would like his face would be swollen. Like I have pictures in my phone even now. I haven't deleted them.
Somebody's asking
like,
where was he in the military. I think she was in the military too. And can you just say his name? Because I think he's well known, right?
Yeah.
What was his name? Bijan?
Yeah.
Yes, Bijan.
A lot of my friends from high school know him as Biji.
Biji, yeah. So you guys used to go to her birth?
Yeah.
Right.
And we left together.
Yeah, sorry to cut you.
Yeah, that's all right. So I honestly, like, as I said, like he would just go to bed and just wake up and like his face is swollen. And but we are just trying to just figure out, like, as I said, I don't know anyone who's ever been diagnosed with that cancer. But when he was doing his chemotherapy, I met this lady, and she had cancer of lymphoma, and that she was on like treatment for. So, and she came there on her own. So I had hope. I'm not gonna lie. Even like the day before, like 3 days before he died, I was on a high. I thought it was just a moment where God was just saying, look how I'm going to turn this around for you guys. Everything is going to work out. Things are going to be perfect. He was such a positive person.
Right.
Like, you met him, right?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely positive.
So how I met Crystal was the one who did my makeup for my wedding. Yeah.
I told them before you came on a little earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. And you know, I just had to. I think I was working the day when it was his funeral. I just had to put down everything and listen, even if she's not going to see me at the funeral, because you don't have no time to see anybody. You're at the front. You don't.
To be honest, I didn't see anybody. I can't recall nothing.
You're just there, focused, and you know. So I'm saying, even if it's just, I want her to know that I was there to and support her. I think after the funeral, I messaged you, but you know, like I didn't even know what to say to you. People want to reach out, and you know, they don't know what to say because you don't want to say how you feel, because that is a question where, oh, you mean how me feel? Why you ask me how me feel? You know. But I'm gonna ask you the same question as what I asked Mel. Does time heal?
No. And when you're going through it and someone say, don't worry about it, time will heal, you feel like, really? This is such a cliche. You really wish they would never say that to you. Because it's new to you. You've never gone through it. Don't tell me time will heal. So I didn't like it. But when they said that to me, every time I go to bed, I would just pray this prayer. Like, it was such a, like, even speaking about it right now, like, because I've done testimonies at church, but I've never really talked openly like this.
Right.
But I used to just pray and wish I could go to sleep and don't wake up until maybe 4 years or 5 years later. Like, not die,
Right.
but like literally. So the time would pass, so I didn't have to cope with it.
Yeah.
It like, I would never wish. I know we all have to go through it, but
Yeah.
nah.
Wow.
Nah.
So you said, you know, you don't, people, because a lot of people have been losing, you know, their loved ones now, especially during COVID. So we want to give them way how can they support their loved ones who have been losing someone. Give us some way, some tips as to how we can support someone who has lost someone.
you have to respect that they're going to change because they're dealing with something that they've never dealt with before. I am a sociable person. I love people, but I lock down. I lost few friends, but there were friends like Bijan left some friends in the military, and like I have to say thank you. Like there's like Chief Clerk, there's Bijan's sister, Sanya. There's a girl in Canada that Bijan knew from Mount Salem All Age. Her name is Davia, and Bijan told her when I was moving to Canada to take care of me. I work at a school, and I had to be at work for 7 a.m. And she would stay on the phone with me. She or Chief or Bijan, other friend called Kevin or Sean, and my friend Kim. They would stay on the phone. So it's like they would rotate. They don't know this, but it's like they're on a shift because I can't sleep. I felt like my brain was like 1,000 miles per hour, and that went on for a very long time. So they stayed on the phone until I fell asleep, and then maybe 4 a.m., 3 a.m., and I have to wake up back. Some days my alarm went off. I didn't even hear it. I was late for work. So you just have to be understanding to the person who's going through the grief. Understand that they're going to go on a lockdown.
See, Balandi said amen to the respect part. You have to respect, because if people really have me up because I don't call them and I don't update them on when funeral is and whatever. Furthermore, you don't want nobody for dead right now in COVID because you can't even give them a good funeral. You understand? So I felt as if people were there bashing me. Oh, Cristano call me and tell me not whatever. I'm like, you are supposed to be the one calling me.
People are unreasonable, Crystal. I have a very close friend that did not come to the funeral, and I did not realize until maybe years later. He told me he didn't come to the funeral because I didn't tell him that my husband passed away. You know who told him that my husband passed away? My mother.
But come on, oh, you are not thinking straight at the time. You're not going to remember to call everybody to say, listen, such and such passed away, and is the funeral is XYZ, and literally have me up and me just cut off. Chief,
just be graceful to the person who's going through grief.
Yes,
and don't tell them this. Don't say, call me if anything. I'm there for you. Do not do that. I had a girlfriend. Bijan have a friend in the military, and he moved to Canada as well, and he's married to this girl. And tell you, when I was going through the motion of everything, I was using up all my money because, as I said, I wasn't thinking. My brain, it seems like I had like a brain seizure. I don't know, but something happened.
Yeah.
And because I'm telling you, like we were like two peanut pod. We don't argue. We had such strong bond. We talk about so many things. So what happened is I came back to Canada and I realized that I spent up all my money. I was just like, anybody want anything? I'm just use it. Oh, draw this, draw that, do this, use that. I didn't realize what was taking place, or I didn't care. So as soon as I reached, about 2 weeks later, she sent me 500 Canadian dollars. She did not ask, she did not tell. She just said, what's your account number? Check it. So if you want to help someone, don't ask them what they need. Go drop food off, hand them some money if you can give monetary help. If you can't, be a listening ear. If you invite them to 10 places or 100 places and they say no, don't take it personally. Keep inviting them. Because I lost a lot of friends because I wasn't going out. I was locked down. But those friends were meant to be lost. Now I have the right one. And now I also did grief share. I must say I did grief share. It's a grief counseling. I recommend it to anyone.
What is it like?
I heard it's online now, but when I did it, so it's just funny. Like he died the January, and the first week in February or the second week, my church just mysteriously started this grief share where anyone who had lost someone, we like watch these videos of persons who have lost. Like a mother lost all of her 4 children in a car accident. So we discussed these issues, and we were seeing other people, like one parent, her 2 children committed suicide. So when I saw those stuff, it was very hard for me because I was just dealing with it. But I was saying to myself, I lost my husband, but imagine they lost so many people, one behind each other. So I was like kind of not comparing pain because you can't do that, but I was kind of just talking to myself, like trying to learn how to cope.
Yeah. Yeah. Tiana said it's great that you touch on some of the stuff that you should not do. Yes, Tiana. I didn't like that
Yeah.
either. Like people calling me. If you need me, call me anytime you call me. And I didn't call. And this particular person who I was very close with, he knew my sister and what my sister was to me. And he literally take it as he thought that I needed some space. That's why I didn't call. I'm like, yes, but you have to be
That's a permanent
deliberate. You
thing.
still have to be deliberate. You have to still bother me same way, even when I don't want to be back. You know, even when I say I want to be by myself, still bother me. You know.
Exactly. They don't understand, like, bother me.
Yeah.
But the ones who cut themselves off, we're not friends anymore because they didn't know how to deal with me.
Right.
I didn't know how to deal with myself, and they didn't know how to deal with
Right.
me. So I guess it just fade away.
Yeah.
So that's okay. New and the people who belongs in your life will stay.
Yeah. And you know, guys, please do not have them up if they don't tell you when is the funeral or when is it this. And you check on them to say what is happening, when is it, and if they don't answer you one whole day, nobody have them up. Text them the next day. You understand? You
drop food off, like do something, like just think outside of the box. Don't take things personally.
Right.
I realize in life we take things too personal.
Yes.
Like, I didn't call you to invite you to the funeral. I don't even know who I called. I don't even know who I told that my husband had passed away.
Right.
Because I was like battling with God because like growing up, I've never seen a young widow. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I was taking it so hard, like literally, like you can bury me too, because it's like I couldn't see my life without vision. We had so much planned. But another thing that helped me to cope, I started saying to myself, he was very smart. I knew a lot of his goals and where he wanted to be. And I got into, one of my friends was having a vision board party. And as I said, my friend literally had to drag me out the house because I didn't want to go.
Right.
I eventually went, and now I am a life coach for children, helping children to see the bigger picture.
Wow.
You have to have your own goals, and you have to see the bigger picture, because me and Bijan had some goals together. So after he died, I realized that I had to go back to school, and I had to self-care.
Yes.
I had to look out for me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, I pray a lot. Mustard seed faith. I will never, like, one day I said to God, a year after he died, like, if you know his soul is saved and he's in heaven, show me the tiniest rainbow. Because I was reading this book called Chicken Soup for the Soul, Hopes and Dreams, and all these persons in the books were seeing signs and wonders. So I've never seen signs and wonders. So I decided that I'm going to put my God to the test. Yes. Don't let nobody tell you how you want your relationship with God. It's personal. I even ask God why. Don't let nobody tell you how you talk to God. God knows how you feel. He knows your frustration, and he knows that you're learning to cope, and this is your journey. This is your testimony, right? So I asked him to show me the smallest, the tiniest rainbow on a day that nobody would have expected it. And I'm not kidding you. So said, so done. I went to work, and I was heading back into school after recess, and a little kid, Miss Karissa, look, there's a rainbow. And I came back outside and I couldn't see it. So the other teacher came to show me. If I had seen it on my own without anybody calling me, I would have said,
it's your mind.
Whatever.
You would have said it's your mind.
Yeah.
But look
so
at
after
that. Wow.
Exactly.
And it happens to me all the time. God show me the sign. You know, so guys, you need to, don't let nobody tell you about you have to go to church every Sunday or every Saturday or whatever. Try to develop a relationship with him. And as Karissa said, ask him to talk to him and say, God, show me a sign. And he will. He will.
Don't put a time limit on it.
Right.
Because you don't know when he's going to show you, but just look out for it. Definitely. And pray. Prayer changes things for me. It does. Like, even now, like, I am more faithful. I have mustard seed faith. Yeah. Believe me when I say I have mustard seed. There's so many adversaries I've gone through even after the death, and I'm still standing because I know that my life is not really for me. My life is for somebody else. If I can give somebody else hope and dream, if I can help somebody else to cope, if I can be a strong tower for somebody, then, as you said, I've lived my life purpose. I've learned to stop paying attention to petty people and to petty things because, is it Mark Twain have this saying that don't argue with stupid people because they'll drag you to their level and beat you with experience. I have learned to just not focus on things that's not important. So right now, I have found my happy balance because I'm coping through Christ.
Wow. Wow. You just said a whole lot, and it's like I'm looking at myself right now. I always knew that our purpose aligned. Oh, yeah, but
yes,
you know what you're doing is a good thing, and you, as you said, you feel fulfilled because you're hearing me. Are you hearing me?
yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, right. So you are able to assist others, and that in itself is fulfilling. Somebody said she can talk. Yes, ma'am. So
I am a teacher.
she's a teacher, you know. So yeah. Somebody's. But hold on, dear. You kind of got into my third question, which I wanted to know the coping strategy. You started with them already. So any more strategy with the coping, or I can move on. Any more coping strategy?
I talk about Bijan a lot. That helped me to cope with this death. I always find people who will listen because I can tell you this. There are people who don't care to hear your story. I once had this lady said to me before Bijan passed, I know this lady and I know this guy and he lost his mother and every day he get up talking about his mother. 3 years later and he still not get over it. And I didn't lose Bijan as yet, but I felt like, really?
Yes.
I said, but you can't say that because you don't know what they're going through. So let me tell you something. If you want somebody to talk to, email me. I will listen. You have to talk about it. Like I talk about Bijan to all of his co-workers who are now my friends / family. I talk about him, about him. And as I said, grief is like waves. It's going to just creep upon you when unannounced. Special occasion, birthdays, things that you used to do together. It's going to just creep upon you. So I used to wear my glasses all the time and I'm crying under the glasses and nobody knows. But I used to cry a lot and this friend said to me, Karissa, you're going to end up depressed and in hospital. This is what you want for yourself? She said, if you're crying for more than 5 or 10 minutes and you realize you're crying for too long, just stand up and wash your face. So every time I cried, I could be there for half an hour, who knows. I remember that voice playing in my head and I just get up and just wash my face and play a lot of YouTube songs. So, and I journal a lot.
Right.
I write a lot. Write out your feelings, journal, put it in prayer. Dear God, today I am going through my pain, but I am thankful for this. Find something to be thankful for.
Wow.
Just talk about it.
Wow. I want to ask you, you guys did not have a child because he didn't have one, you didn't have one, right? So do you...
He had 2, but we didn't have any together.
Any together. Do you think you would have preferred a little Bijan now, or the fact that you didn't have one, it's kind of easier to cope because you're not able to actually see him every day? Let me know. What's your thoughts about that?
Okay, this is a heavy question. I've thought about it. I've never actually discussed it, but yeah.
We have to talk about
I'm going to be very transparent.
Many times I see, lady pregnant and then the father die, while the woman is pregnant. So I'm wondering if it would have been better if she wasn't pregnant, or she actually prefer a baby, Let me know what you think.
I'm going to be transparent. It's a question. So when Bijan died, my goal was to start having children at 30. As women, we like to plan things.
So Melanie, I'm going to ask her that question next. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
So I wanted to have my first child at 30 years old. And as you know, I became a widow at 30.
Right.
So again, me and God had a battle.
Wow.
I was hoping and praying that I would just mysteriously discover that I'm pregnant after he's gone. So I just have a little piece of him to remind me. But funny enough, so 2 weeks before Bijan died, another soldier in the military crashed and died. So somebody that I know in Canada connected me with his wife. We're now very close.
Right.
His wife had a 3-month-old child.
Oh.
So as I said, we're very close, and I've seen all the struggles, I've seen the pain, I've seen the drama, I've seen everything. But I still wanted a child because I love children.
Yes.
I love children so much. I'm sorry, like I love my stepchildren, everybody, children. I love children.
Yeah.
So I wanted one with him. But I just keep saying to myself, God knows this. Maybe he has that. I haven't been like, it's been 6 years. I haven't like I'm not married. I don't have any children yet. But I keep saying to myself, God knew ahead of time, because this is what I questioned God and said, how did you let me return to Jamaica to marry my high school sweetheart, to not fall in love with anyone else abroad, knowing that he was going to pass away? But I mean, that isn't selfish me speaking. That was me before knowing my purpose. When I look back into life, I'm like, you know what? God had a bigger plan for me. So if I am the one who is able to carry this,
yes,
I have to walk in my purpose. And to be honest, as I said, I would never wish this on anyone. You just get married and your husband gone. So I just said, you know what, God, you have another plan for me. So I am going to hold on to that plan. Jeremiah 29:11 is my favorite Bible verse, and I read it over my life daily. So I am learning to accept they said, if you're sailing in the sea, if you're not sailing in the direction where the wind is blowing, it's going to be very hard for you. And that was what was happening to me when Bijan died the first couple of years. I was not dealing with the issue. I was trying to like sail in a different direction where the wind wasn't taking me. So now I'm like just going with the flow, and that's my happy back.
Wow. I'm happy that you're at this place, because you know we weren't even that close, and I felt like that. You know, I'm like, can you imagine his mom? Can you imagine his father? Can you imagine his brother, his kids? You know, can you imagine you? Like, you know, I feel your pain for you. I think everybody who knows you guys would actually feel the pain for you. You know, the final question I had for you, I think Melanie put it in the chat. As a widow, do you think you'll ever be ready to date again, or, you know, fall in love? Because I mean, you can go on a date, but would you be ever so vulnerable, or give yourself, open up your heart to someone else?
So this is what I thought, because Bijan had set the bar so high, hence the reason why I wasn't rushing or ended up in a relationship, like relationship after relationship, even though I don't judge, because I've known other young widows who that was their way of coping. When the bar is set high and you have high standards as well, you won't just jump in a relationship with any and everybody. I always say to myself, if I am with somebody who's not treating me well, Bijan is going to be looking down from heaven. That's what I said to myself. Be very sad, because he treated me so, I'm not kidding. He put me on a pedestal. Like anything I want, I had. Like the guy was just next to nobody's perfect, but he treated me well, and I was happy.
Right.
So at one point I said to God, like, God, like it's been 6 years, and I said to him, you're not going to allow me to find anybody else? I says, am I to believe that because I had experienced real love before, that is it?
Right.
So because I am giving up on it, and I know God have a bigger plan for me, and I know I'm still obedient to him. So I know that when I get what I get, it's going to be heaven sent again. And yes, real love can happen too. So yeah, just keep holding on to
guys,
faith.
gonna put some fire in the chat there. Gonna put some fire in the chat, because listen, I thought about it, you know, and you know, as I said, I didn't know you guys in high school or anything, but just the little moment that I met you, I said, no man, they're really in love, you know, and he made you feel special. And we women, men who are on here, we women, we don't really require much, you know. We don't require much, you know. And she said,
We just need a guy not to argue with us. Don't argue with us. Sometimes we're hormonal.
yeah. And he understood the assignment. He did what he was supposed to do. And you know, God placed you in his life at that time for a reason. You know, maybe you saved
Yeah,
him. Maybe you saved him. You know, he saved you at some point.
yeah,
You know, so I don't question God. I question him, but I don't question the outcome in terms of I don't curse him.
yeah,
I question God,
yeah,
but I don't curse him. And I like the
yeah,
fact that you are still hopeful. You know, you know that he loves you, and there's no way he's going to not want you to be happy. And so he gave you that
exactly.
man at that particular period, but there is somebody else out there for you. And that's how we
There
should,
is.
even if it is not that, that is how I look at it, even in my separation.
Exactly.
After
Exactly.
me,
Oh, can I
something
tell
go
you
wrong
this?
with me. My heart click.
I once had
Uh,
Krista, I once had a lady said to me, she was going through divorce at the time and she heard I lost my husband and she came to say she was sorry. But at least she says, but you're okay. At least your husband died with you knowing that he loved you. I'm going through a divorce. I was like,
really?
yes. You know, I have a very saucy tongue. So I said to her, I said to her, I wish he was alive. At least I would wiggle my way back into his arms. He's gone. I can't ever see him again. So, but the point of the matter is, we should never compare pain. Pain is pain and pain is individual. It's unique. Just don't compare your pain to somebody else's pain.
Yes, yes, definitely. And on that note, that kind of close it off a little bit. But do you have anything else that you would want to share with someone right now who is hurting
Was hurting.
from the death of
I
a
wish
loved
I
one?
could just reach out and give you a hug, but this is what I want to say to you. If you are not a faithful person, it's okay. But ask somebody to pray for you. Like prayer changes things. Like trust
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Find songs, find anything that can help you cope. Just live. Find out who were you before this person died. Find out what this person would have wanted for you. Do your 5-year and 10-year goals and say to yourself that you're making this person proud and you're making yourself proud. Don't live for you anymore. Somebody there is waiting for you to just go through your storm and to look up to you and to say thank you to you. So don't give up. Don't park in your pain. Don't park in your pain. Grief is very difficult, but I haven't overcome it. It is not something you overcome. You deal with it daily. You would never know, even discussing Bijan today. I do get a little emotional in my heart. But you know what? He is tucked away in my heart and nobody can take that away from me. Nobody. So just live again.
Yes.
Live again. Find your purpose.
Wow.
Right? And take care of your mental health.
Wow.
All
Listen,
right.
keep inspiring as your Instagram name, Karissa Inspires. Keep inspiring. You, even though
Thank
you
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 so
may
much.
think that, you know, you're not reaching as much as you should, you are reaching who you should. And people are there, they're listening, they're watching, and they are inspired. Some people that, and I think people, guys, we need to do this more often. We see our friends do it. I see Melanie had a YouTube channel. You guys, your pressure are if you say YouTube channel, but then you don't go and subscribe. Karissa starts her vision boarding thing, you don't support her, you know. So guys, we need to support each other some more. But they are watching and they are inspired, so give it the support, no man. So thank you so much for taking the time out. Do you have you were telling me about some is it a vision boarding session thing? What was it?
Yeah, so just like your 5 years and your 10 years goals, even with children, because as I say,
Mm-hmm.
I love children very much because it's easier to fix a broken,
Mm-hmm.
like fix a child than a broken adult.
Mm-hmm.
So just help your children even in this time to focus on their vision. Where do they see themselves in 10 years? And have those family discussion with your children,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And if you haven't lost anybody close, discuss the matter. Discuss what would you want to happen. Like, have you put anything into, like, is there any money to bury you? Just discuss those little stuff and stop making the topic taboo. open up the can of worms and discuss death. Everybody gonna have somebody they love who died. All right.
Yes. Somebody said that your page is private. Maybe they want to reach out to you. Just go in our DM or something. All right, Karissa.
Okay.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me.
No problem.
Yes, I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you for having me, Crystal. It's a pleasure, and I support you and
Thank you.
what you're doing.
Thank you.
May God bless you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So I think you just click X or something like that.
All right. Bye,
If you can
everyone.
come off. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, wow. I didn't know that I would get through tonight, you know. I actually have my tissue. You see it here? Say, Eddie, oh, no little tears come, you know. But we did it. It's a heavy topic to talk about, but it's something that we need to talk about, you know. So if you don't get anything from tonight, though, at least you got some tips as to, you know, how to deal with persons who are going through a loss. They may shut down. Don't have them up. Don't tell them they need me. If you want me, call me, because them not going to call you. Especially if you're a person like me. Don't tell me if you know say me need you. You know say my sister dead. You know say we not have nobody in Jamaica. You know say me and our 3 kids them alone. You know say certain things. You know that the person needs help. Don't come tell them say call me if you need any money. You know we need it if you have it, because you may naturally don't have it. And some persons who didn't give monetary, and I didn't get a lot of monetary, but you know, just the fact that they were there. I have a particular friend, as she is my neighbor, and she's like, she carry breakfast gonna give me. I'm like, cause who have energy for cooking these times, you know? And those were the little things that I appreciated, even though I tell her I'm a good man. And I couldn't sleep for a couple. I know me still not sleep, guys. This happened. My sister passed in April, and I know I don't really sleep good. You know, kind of sleep bag under me a little bit. But you know, sometimes I wish I had somebody that could just stay up on the phone with me for the entire night, because sometimes I'm scared, especially if my daughter is not here. I'm by myself and I have on the light, and not scared of her, but scared of my thoughts. See, yeah, Melanie said she went a year without sleeping. Wow, Mel, wow. And you had a physical support with you, or you were by yourself at the time? Look at that. Look at that. So guys, you know, it's not easy, but do what you can. All right. And as Melanie said, just cherish the little ones in your circle, because you never know. Okay, Mel was by herself. Okay. You never know when they're going to go. We are not promised tomorrow. All right. So I am not the person I'm alone. I'm not normally the person to call everybody or whatever. But I think I'm making a little bit more effort now since she passed, to say, all right, I'm going to check in now. Or, you know, you have to push yourself, because you don't want to know that, you know, they just gone like that, and you could have reached out, but you know, you just didn't, because sometimes you're tired too, you know. From your own struggles or whatever, you don't get to check in. But at least if it's a little, I am checking on you. And do not assume that because somebody is smiling and happy, they're happy. That's my final word to you. Do not assume that. Relations live with Crystal. Yeah, man. Crystal mental good. Crystal strong and whatever. Don't do that. You know, assume you don't know. We all have our struggles. So yeah, just don't judge. That would be my final word. Somebody said keep inspiring. Thank you. Next week we're not going to have such a heavy topic. Next week we're going to talk about what men wants. Woohoo! We're going to have Andy O'Heaven. I think that's, yeah, come on to tell you what men want. So guys, we're on a mental health journey. Be good. It's not about me. Yes, I was inspired tonight by the two ladies, and I'm definitely going to take those coping tips. But it's not about me, it's all about us. All right, so those who didn't get to join the live, just let them know. Listen, go back over to Real Issues Live and watch it. They may be able to assist you in coping because they have been through it. All right. Have a good night. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Karissa, Unruly, Auntie Yannick, Sikadal, Tiana, Mush Media, Noble Services, DH1, everybody that came on tonight. Thank you, guys. Let's try to save the world one life at a time. I just came up with that. Yeah, but we can do it, man. All right, guys, that was it. The phone drop. Phone drop and everything. You guys are seeing me? Phone drop and everything. Have a good night. Bye. Am I still here? Are you guys seeing me? Hearing me? Hearing me? Seeing me? Okay. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good night. I'm definitely going to save it. Tell a friend to tell a friend.